Her death sent shockwaves through the South. The murder of a 21-year-old college student in Mississippi.
Left for dead in the middle of the night, we're taking you back to that night, to the scene of the crime, in today's True Crime Chronicles.
It's the early hours of Saturday morning, July 20th, 2019. A gunman shoots Ole Miss student Ally Kostial 8 times in the stomach, killing her. He leaves her dying at a picnic table near a lake 30 miles from the Ole Miss campus.
Ally was just very fun and outgoing, very friendly girl. I'm just gonna miss how the fact that she was always there for me if I needed to talk to her.
Hours later, authorities discover her body. Investigators begin unraveling the events leading up to the murder. Surveillance video shows Ally leaving a bar at 11:52 p.m. Friday night before entering a rideshare. Media outlets then uncover footage of Ally at a convenience store early Saturday morning. In the video, she is seen with a man. Police quickly identify him as one Brandon Fesfeld. On Sunday, police reach out to Brandon, who they learn is a classmate of Ally's. He initially agrees to talk to them, but later that day tells them he is uncomfortable answering questions as he has been drinking. Brandon tells police he will meet them on Monday instead. However, he flees the state. Cell phone and credit card data lead police to a gas station in Memphis, where they apprehend Brandon. Police take him into custody, finding a Glock pistol among Brandon's belongings. Ballistic tests reveal that his pistol is the murder weapon.
Hearing these things about him it makes you scared to not want to trust anybody that you meet.
The next day, prosecutors charge Brandon with murder. But why did Brandon kill Ally? A damning trail of digital evidence paints a chilling picture of his motives. Ally had dated Brandon on and off, but Brandon reportedly never took their relationship seriously. Several months before the murder, Ally sent him a photo of an inconclusive pregnancy test. In a state of panic and believing a pregnancy would ruin his life, Brandon searched methods of abortion before turning to darker intents. Police find evidence that Brandon researched how Ted Bundy lured his victims.
With the way that he treated women and his attitude towards women in general, it didn't surprise me.
Investigators also uncover cell phone data that shows both Brandon and Ally arriving at the site of the murder, but only Brandon leaving. The evidence is irrefutable. Over 2 years after killing Ally Kostial, Brandon Fesfeld pleads guilty to her murder.
Brandon will spend the rest of his life in prison, and tragically, Ally turned out not to be pregnant. We wanted to learn more about the case, so we talked to Casey Nolan, a local journalist at KSDK in St. Louis, who covered the story. Casey, thank you so much for being here. Tell us about Ally and Brandon's relationship. Did they get along? Were there a lot of fights? Talk to me about that.
Well, it's been described as on again, off again. Somewhat romantic, but never was a long-term relationship. And the things we've heard in court was that she was more interested in a relationship than he was. And then at some point, she reached out to him, sent him a picture of an inconclusive pregnancy test, and said, we got to talk. And that's when he started cutting off communication with her.
That was the trigger.
I mean, I don't think it'll be going out on a limb to say that he was a nefarious character. So can you tell our viewers, Casey, what was Brandon's home life like?
Well, in his own words, he was no good. He left a letter for his parents saying, it's not your fault. If you're reading this, I'm either dead or going to prison, and that something has just always been off with me. I'm just a bad person.
He feels there's something wrong with him. When the police arrested him, though, Casey, Brandon said he was innocent. So why did he write that letter, I guess, and why do you think he pled guilty, and why say he was innocent? Do you think he was in shock, maybe?
Well, I mean, I don't think this was the most well-laid plans for a crime, right? Like, I guess in the beginning he thought he might be able to get away with it, but I guess you could say the digital evidence just really piled up on him. They were able to track his phone and her phone to where her body was found. They were able to look at his internet searches for things like silencers. And I'm not making this up, this is in court. How did Ted Bundy lure his victims is one of the things he searched for. He searched for how to get an abortion early on when she first told him about what she thought was a possible pregnancy. And so then after he shot and killed her, left her on a picnic bench by a lake where kids would go party, he started searching how to scan for police scanners, how to listen to police scanners in that area. So in the beginning, he may have thought he could get away with it to some degree, but the evidence seems to be overwhelming. Yeah.
That picnic table is the thing that frightens me. The contradiction between her body and the picnic table is so sad. Go ahead, Al.
No, it's a lot. I mean, you know, the case is closed, but is it closed for the community? Like, how is the community doing, and have they moved on?
The community at Ole Miss still makes an effort to remember her. They've held other events in the last, past few months to remember her. Her family, we have not heard much more from. We had made some contact with them through friends of the family. But in court, they had a statement that was read by the family, and they said they refused to let her be defined by how she died. They talked a lot about how, she had an Instagram account was almost exclusively sunsets, that she just liked beautiful things. They remember the beauty she brought to the world, what an innocent and loving child she was, who liked reading Little House on the Prairie. And so they're trying to hold on to the memories of her that don't have anything to do with that picnic table, like you mentioned.
Yeah, wow, sunsets. I'll think of Ally. Well, we covered the broad strokes on the case here on the show, but trust me, there's so much more to it. So if you'd like to get those details, go to ksdk.com. We've also covered Ally's story on our True Crime Chronicles podcast, which you can find where podcasts are all streaming. Casey, thank you. It is always a pleasure speaking with you. Thanks for bringing her story to light. Thanks again, Casey.
Thanks.
We'll be right back.
Thank you both.